Imagine a place where our members can shelter from a spring rain, where beachgoers can have lunch on a hot summer day, where we can celebrate our nation's most cherished holidays, a place that will be the center of community activity the fall, summer, and spring months. Our Community Pavilion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to thank the board and Community Connections for the good work they've done in the last 6 years. I've been living here in Paupacken Lake for about 25 years, and over the last 6 years, each year it gets a little bit better. I'm going to show a couple locations, a couple different types of pavilions, and then we're going to do a cost analysis at the end, you know, in a PowerPoint with a detailed item per item cost. So, you know, this is where we want to put the pavilion, where the community wants to put the pavilion. It's right next to the parking lot at the beach. That's about it. We'll go to the next location after this. Here we are at the Tafton Fire Hall, and I'm going to show you the first type of a pavilion. It's a common truss pavilion. 2 carrying beams on top of columns with the trusses, and we're going to go take a look at that, and then I'm going to give you a little idea what the price is. But at the end of this, I'm going to give you a detailed item per item price breakdown at the end of this whole presentation. Well, this pavilion has a steel roof on top of these. These are common trusses. They're anywhere from $150 to $200 each, depending on the size of the pavilion. And you have 2x6s running across the top of the trusses with a steel roof on it. These are the columns. Ours will be 6x6s, and we're going to have 3 2x10s on top of it. And the carrying beams, there'll be 9 of them. So that's about $390 for each column. So we're talking about $800 for the 2 columns, with 30 trusses would be around $3 grand. So we're talking about $3,800, and the steel roof is $1.50 a square foot, which would be around $3,000. We'll need about 4 yards of concrete. They have to be 4 feet in the ground. So we'll say another $400. I mean, I'll do a complete item breakdown at the end of this, but so we're looking at around $8 grand. We could have this pavilion, this type, 40 by 60 for about 12 grand. But I'm going to do 4 different sizes. I'll give you prices on 4 different sizes on this. Here we are at the Paupacken Township Park Pavilion. It's a steel structure. I talked to Bruce. These structures are, even though they're sturdy, they're $65,000. You guys can take a look at them, you know, at whenever you get a chance. Just thought I'd show it to you. We're going to go to the next one, which is the Salem Township Pavilion, which is down in Hamlin. We're going to head there now. So. Salem Township Recreational Park, and looking at our 3rd type of a pavilion. It's a laminate beam, forms 8 arches that support the roof. The only problem is these laminate beams are $1,500 each, which I mean raises it. They're about twice as much as a common truss pavilion. Just 8 of these is $12,000 with the decking, which is, this is 2x6. We could use 2x10. It'd be about $3,000 for the decking. That's $15,000 before we have the roof. It cost the Salem Township about $47,000 for this because they bought a kit and had people kind of. We have 15 volunteers, most of them in the building trades, that are going to build our pavilion, you know, with the community for nothing. We went to the township building this week and talked to the building inspectors and found out the criteria for building a pavilion. Has to withstand a 90-mile-an-hour wind and a 40-pound per square foot snow load. Because we're a community, everything we build is considered commercial, which means we have to have an engineering stamp. But Chris Borton said that he would stamp it, the design, you know, once we make a design for it, and that it will cost $640, and if we need the electric, it would be $700 for the permit. But that's be the same as a residential. The only additional requirement for commercial is that we need the engineer stamp on the pavilion. So that's it. Cut.